You've been serious about training your shoulders every week. Still, you're not making progress, you're constantly in pain, and you're ready to give up on shoulder training altogether. Before doing this, watch this video and try the mentioned tips. Even for thin people with naturally narrow shoulders, the good news is that our shoulder muscles have great growth potential. The front of the shoulder, anterior deltoid, can grow up to 5 times the size of an average untrained person. The sides of the shoulder can grow up to 3 times the size of an average untrained person. That's enough growth potential for you to build impressively broad shoulders, even with very short collarbones. In addition to adding volume to the shoulders, we can also enhance our body by creating a larger chest and upper back and a slimmer waist. How to build bigger shoulders. Our shoulders are made up of 3 different muscles: the anterior deltoid, front deltoid, middle deltoid, lateral deltoid, and posterior deltoid, rear deltoid. When we combine them into one muscle group, our deltoids, they become one of the largest muscle groups in our upper body. Our shoulders are about 60% larger than our chest and 400% larger than our biceps. This gives them a lot of growth potential, and if you're a thin guy, you can probably add 5 inches to your shoulders in a few months. As you get stronger, your shoulders will get bigger. But unlike most other muscle groups, the 3 heads of our shoulders each have their own functions. It is impossible to train each one with one lift. Our front delts push things out of the way, our side delts lift things sideways, and our back delts pull things in. Most of our shoulders come from our front triangle, and most of our shoulder width comes from our side triangle in the future. These muscles can be trained with horizontal presses, such as push-ups and bench presses, and vertical presses, such as overhead presses. As we mentioned, these are strong, tight muscles with a lot of growth potential. They grow fastest when combined with heavy compound movements, such as overhead presses, and smaller isolation movements, such as lateral raises. Our rear deltoids are smaller and have less growth potential, but training them is still important. Not only do they round out our shoulders, but once we get strong enough, they also help lock our shoulders into the right position, improving our posture and mobility. The rear deltoids play a more significant role in larger compound exercises like rows and pull-ups. They can then target these with lighter auxiliary lifts such as face pulls and rear delt flies. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell button to get some interesting stuff in upcoming videos. Improve our shoulder posture and flexibility. Because modern lifestyles can involve spending a lot of time sitting at a desk, it's common to adopt this posture to create internally rotated shoulders. It may be fine for typing, but it can limit our range of motion and shave inches off our shoulders. The best way to improve shoulder posture is to develop the strength to hold yourself in the correct position. Long story short, but starting with diagonal press variations, building them up, and then gradually working your way up to a more vertical one can help. Bench press or push-up, especially if we use a narrow or medium grip, we can work our shoulders very hard, even if we don't press all the way overhead. Incline press or landmine press, this makes the movement more vertical but still within a comfortable range of motion for most of us, giving the shoulders a workout to lift things higher. The half-kneeling one-arm dumbbell press. When we're ready to start the overhead press, it's helpful to start with one arm at a time. It also helps maintain half knees to prevent arching of the lower back. Standing one-arm dumbbell press. Once we are used to lifting dumbbells overhead in a kneeling position, we can try a standing position. Overhead press. Once we have mastered the one-arm press, we can start pressing with 2 hands simultaneously, using 2 dumbbells or a barbell. When we can lift weights overhead with a wide range of motion and good form, it becomes much easier to develop broader shoulders. Using lighter isolation weights will still help, but our shoulders get rounder and more toned as they get progressively stronger with overhead presses. Balancing our traps and shoulders. Some people believe that we should limit the trapezius growth of the trapezius muscle. So to see what this means, our trapezius is the muscle that connects our shoulders to our neck so we can lift our shoulders up. By themselves, they don't help us build thicker necks, but our traps add a lot of muscle around our necks, which can make a big difference to how we look. We don't need to pay special attention to the trapezius muscles because when we deadlift, they are trained with heavy loads, and they are stressed for a long time when we deadlift. When we deadlift, do overhead training, and side raise, they will do a whole series of movements. Because our traps use both overhead presses and lateral raises, when we build wider shoulders, we tend to build bigger traps. Tenderness in the trap is also common when raising the shoulder. Here are 3 principles for creating bigger, broader shoulders. Get stronger with shoulder building exercises. For compound lifts, the bench press will work the front delts, the overhead press will work the front and sides, and pull-ups and rows will work the rear delts. For isolation lifts, side raises and facial pulls are an excellent place to start. If you focus on getting stronger with these lifts, your shoulders will definitely get bigger. Make sure you eat enough food to build muscle. This is where many of us skinny guys go wrong. We follow a good exercise program, but because of a small stomach or poor appetite, we are not consuming enough calories to gain weight. If we don't gain weight, we don't have the extra resources to build muscle. A good rule of thumb is to gain 0.5 to 1 pound per week. Improve your shoulder posture and mobility so that your shoulders look square instead of caving. Simple strengthening with compound movements will often help correct your posture. Front squats, deadlifts, push-ups, and overhead presses are good for this. Share your ideas and experiences in the comment section below. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like it. And please share our videos with your friends to support our team. Looking for more amazing videos? Check out the videos popping up on the right and the left of your screen. Thank you, guys, for tuning in.